Yes, you did. Yeah, you did, sir.
Yeah, that's cool.
We got maybe locked up.
Yeah.
We may have to.
Same old.
Did you just take this to the best? This is the best tape you've ever seen.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I'm Dawn Brantley, Director of the Massachusetts Emergency Management Agency, MEMA. For many people, the World Cup begins next week. For the public safety and public health professionals standing alongside me, it began years ago. While fans will see excitement on the pitch, what they won't see is the years of planning, coordination, and preparation that have brought us to this moment. Since Boston was selected as a host city, state, local, federal, regional, and private sector partners have been working together to prepare. What you see today is the result of thousands of hours of planning, coordination, training, and exercises, all designed to ensure a safe and successful tournament for everyone. At MEMA, our role has been to bring partners together, coordinate planning efforts, and ensure that every agency understands not only their own responsibilities, but how those responsibilities intersect and how they connect across the broader mission. Public safety for an event of this scale is truly a team effort. This week, public safety agencies moved from preparation to operations. We began daily operational meetings to discuss critical updates and situational awareness. Next week, MEMA will also begin daily calls with host cities and states across the country to maintain national level situational awareness throughout the tournament. On match days, the State Emergency Operations Center in Framingham will serve as the Unified Coordination Center, the UCC, where more than 40 representatives from 15 agencies across the region will come together with additional partners supporting virtually. The UCC agencies will share information in real time, make decisions, and coordinate resources. MEMA will also deploy a mobile emergency operations center to the stadium and will have MEMA staff and leadership embedded at the Boston Special Event Coordination Center and Boston Stadium Joint Operations Center to support local response to any incident that may occur. Massachusetts has built one of the most comprehensive and effective special event planning programs in the country. More than 70 organizations have participated in a structured planning process, specialized planning groups, workshops, seminars, tabletop exercises, functional exercises, and operational rehearsals. Together, we have planned for everything from transportation disruptions and severe weather to public health incidents, cybersecurity threats, crowd management challenges, and other complex scenarios. The result is a coordinated public safety framework that has been tested, refined, and strengthened through repeated exercises and real-world experience. Massachusetts has long been recognized as having a national model for planning and coordinating public safety operations for large-scale special events. We have successfully planned for and managed some of the nation's most significant public events, including the Boston Marathon, major championships, and annual celebrations across the state. The World Cup is larger in scale, but it builds on the same principles that have guided our success for years. Strong partnerships, transparency and clear communication, detailed planning, and a commitment to continuous improvement. As we enter the final week before kickoff, our message is simple. Massachusetts is match ready. While much of this work happens behind the scenes, it is among the most important work that we do. Success for us means that fans can focus on the excitement of the matches, the energy of the crowds, and the experience of being part of an historic event, knowing that an extraordinary team of public safety professionals is working every day to keep them safe. To all of our partners, thank you for your dedication, expertise, and commitment. Our state of readiness today is the product of your hard work and countless hours of preparation. Now I would like to introduce Massachusetts Public Safety and Security Secretary, Gina Kwan.
Thank you, Don. And good morning. Thank you all for being here. I'm Gina Kwan, the Secretary of Public Safety and Security. As Massachusetts prepares to welcome the world for the 2026 World Cup, our priority is clear: to support a safe, healthy, welcoming, and well-coordinated experience for fans, visitors, residents, workers, businesses, athletes, and communities across the region. This is one of the largest, most complex international events our Commonwealth has ever helped prepare for. 7 matches will be played here at Boston Stadium in Foxborough. The FIFA Fan Festival will bring people together in Boston, and World Cup-related activities will touch communities, transportation systems, businesses, hotels, public spaces, and partner jurisdictions across Massachusetts and Rhode Island. An undertaking of this magnitude requires more than one agency, one city, or one discipline. It requires the strength of true partnership. For nearly 2 years, local, state, federal, regional, public safety, public health, emergency management, transportation, venue, event, and private sector partners have been planning together. That work includes 14 public safety and security planning groups focused on mission areas such as emergency management, communications, intelligence sharing, transportation security, public information, health and medical services, fan festival planning, command and coordination, team movements, and stadium operations. That structure matters. It means partners are sharing information, testing plans, identifying risks, coordinating resources, and preparing for both routine operations and complex scenarios that may require rapid and unified action. As part of that readiness work, and at the request of the Foxborough Police Department, Massachusetts is also preparing to activate up to 85 Massachusetts National Guard personnel to support local law enforcement during the World Cup operational period. This limited activation is a familiar support role for the Guard, who routinely support major events, including the Boston Marathon and 4th of July festivities, and it reflects the careful planning underway to support our local partners, strengthen coordination, and meet the extended operational demands of an event of this scale. I want to express my deep appreciation to the many partners represented here today: MEMA, the State Police, the FBI, the Town of Foxborough, the City of Boston, the Department of Public Health, Boston 26, Boston Stadium, and the Craft Sports and Entertainment Group, and the many agencies and organizations working behind the scenes. I also want to recognize the public information professionals across local, state, federal, regional, public safety, public health, emergency management, transportation, venue, events, and community partners who have helped develop the shared guidance we are highlighting today. This work reflects a simple but powerful message. One message, many messengers. Today's briefing is about readiness, but it is also about public partnership. The public has an important role to play in helping us deliver a safe, healthy, and successful World Cup. Over the next several days and throughout the tournament, our partners will be sharing practical guidance on public safety, public health, transportation, venue readiness, emergency alerts, scams, suspicious activity reporting, and other important topics. My request to the public is simple. Please follow that guidance. Use official resources. Plan ahead, stay aware. Listen to the instructions of public safety officials, public health professionals, event staff, and venue personnel. These messages are designed to help everyone: fans, visitors, residents, workers, businesses, and communities navigate this moment safely and confidently. And to our partners across government, public safety, public health, transportation, emergency management, hospitality, business, community organizations, and the private sector, we are asking for your help as trusted messengers. Please share and amplify this guidance through your own channels, networks, and communities. The strength of this effort depends not only on the plans we build, but on our ability to deliver clear, consistent, accessible information to the people who need it. As part of that work, our teams have collaborated on a series of PSAs designed to educate residents and visitors alike. Several of the leaders you see here today dedicated time to this project, and we're grateful to them and their teams for these efforts. At this time, we're proud to share 2 PSAs you'll see over the course of the next 6 weeks. They focus on a variety of public safety topics like leave fireworks to the professionals, calling 911 for emergency assistance, and other reminders to prepare for this exciting time. I'd like to direct your attention to the screens.
We want you to know before you go. Call 911 if you have a medical emergency, a fire, or there's a crime in progress, or there's an immediate threat to your safety. Do not call 911 for general questions, directions, transportation updates, or any non-urgent issues. If you call 911 and don't speak English, an interpreter will be connected to the call. Tell the dispatcher what the emergency is. Provide your exact location and nearby landmarks, and stay on the line until the dispatcher tells you it is okay to hang up. If you are calling 911 from an international phone, connections may take longer to reach or may require a second attempt. We want you to stay match ready in Massachusetts.
Massachusetts is ready to welcome the world, and we want everyone to celebrate safely. Each year in the United States, fireworks and other pyrotechnics cause over 30,000 fires, injuries, and even deaths. That's why they are illegal for consumer use in Massachusetts. Police will seize fireworks, and you could face a fine, even if they're bought legally out of state. Don't risk a fire, traumatic injury, or a day in court. Leave fireworks to the professionals, and let's celebrate safely.
Through the Match Ready Massachusetts, we have shared a framework, a shared message, and a shared responsibility. One message, many messengers. That is how we reach people, build confidence, and support a safe and successful tournament. Public safety also means protecting people who may be vulnerable. Massachusetts and its partners are advancing a coordinated, trauma-informed effort around human trafficking awareness, prevention, reporting, and survivor-centered support. If someone is in immediate danger, call 911. For support or to report concerns, contact the National Human Trafficking Hotline. Massachusetts has significant experience planning for major events, from the Boston Marathon to July 4th and many others. But what gives me the greatest confidence is not just our experience, it is the strength of our partnerships. This work happens because people across agencies, jurisdictions, and disciplines choose to operate as one team. It happens because public servants, first responders, emergency managers, public health professionals, transportation partners, federal partners, municipal leaders, and venue operators, and community organizations bring their expertise, their discipline, and their commitment to the table every day. That is the foundation of public safety in Massachusetts. To every partner involved in this effort, thank you. Thank you for your leadership, your coordination, your professionalism, and your continued commitment to the people we all serve. Together, we are Match Ready Massachusetts, and together we are ready to welcome the world safely, successfully, and with the care and preparation this moment deserves. And now I'd like to turn it over to Special Agent in Charge, Ted Dox, of the FBI.
Thank you, Gina, and good morning, everyone. My name is Ted Dox. I'm the Special Agent in Charge of FBI Boston. FIFA World Cup is rapidly approaching, and FBI and our partners are working nonstop to ensure Massachusetts is match ready and safe for everyone. The FBI is leading Operation Gold Kick, a coordinated security effort across 11 host cities that bring together local, state, federal, and international law enforcement partners to protect every fan, player, and community from acts of violence. Right now, the FBI is not tracking any specific or credible threats to our region or the homeland directed at the World Cup matches. But the need for our collective and continued vigilance cannot be overstated. We are operating in a heightened threat environment, and the law enforcement team standing here today will be managing multiple, complex, large-scale events all at the same time. The matches, fan festivals, transportation surges, Sail Boston, and America's 250th celebrations, just to name a few. The FBI has been preparing for these games for 2 years. We've been monitoring for threats, sharing intelligence in real time, and ensuring that rapid response capabilities are in place before, during, and after every match. Our Joint Terrorism Task Force is the backbone of this effort. And the FBI's highly trained specialty teams and crisis management assets will be out in full force. We are laser focused on public safety, and we are asking all of you to be dialed in as well. If you see suspicious behavior, report it. It could be unintended bags, someone acting strangely, or attempting to access restricted areas, or anything that doesn't feel quite right. Trust your instincts and contact law enforcement. I also want to address the growing concerns surrounding unauthorized drones. Flying your drone near the stadium, fan festival, or restricted area is both dangerous and illegal. So don't do it. Simply put, leave your drones at home. If we catch you flying in restricted airspace, violations can result in criminal fines up to $100,000, a year in prison, and seizure of your drone. So please follow the rules and keep the skies and the World Cup safe for everyone. These matches will draw visitors, athletes, and officials from nations around the world, including individuals who may be targeted by foreign governments seeking to silence, intimidate, harass, or coerce them. The FBI is actively investigating transnational repression schemes and will be particularly vigilant during the World Cup. We're asking anyone who believes they are being targeted, surveilled, or threatened by a foreign government to speak up and report it to us. Another area of intense focus is human trafficking. FBI Boston's Child Exploitation and Human Trafficking Task Force is coordinating proactive operations and outreach efforts to identify victims and disrupt trafficking networks. We're asking hotel staff, rideshare drivers, and stadium employees, and the public to be out on the lookout for individuals who show signs of abuse and manipulation. We're also urging fans to beware of cyber criminals perpetrating frauds and scams. Criminals often exploit major international events like this one to make a quick buck. Watch out for counterfeit tickets and sports memorabilia, short-term property rentals that don't exist, phishing emails, and travel deals that just seem too good to be true. Take a beat and protect yourself, loved ones, and your hard-earned money. This is the largest sporting event ever held in the United States. 48 national teams, 104 matches, 11 cities, millions of international visitors, and billions watching around the world. FBI Boston is proud to support our partners in ensuring everyone has a safe and fun experience. I'll turn it over to Foxborough Chief Mike Riss.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Mike Grace. I'm the police chief here in Foxborough. It is just a matter of days. The Boston Stadium will take center stage as we prepare for the largest sporting event in the world. Not once, but 7 times. We are 4 days away from securing the venue, transitioning it into a full operational mode. In 8 days, we will welcome Scotland and Haiti for our first match. This stadium has hosted just about everything, from our 6-time Super Bowl champion New England Patriots Army-Navy game to the largest touring events in the world. But FIFA World Cup is different. It's global in scale, in reach, and unlike anything we've seen before. Over 2 years ago, FIFA launched its international security plan and efforts in Atlanta, bringing together experts and law enforcement leaders from around the world. The UK football policing unit shared the passion, energy, and at times volatility that comes with global soccer fans. We then built on that by sending our own personnel along with state and federal partners to Qatar to observe firsthand what worked, challenges emerged from the last World Cup, and what we should expect here in Foxborough. Today, we are supported by more than 50 local police departments, the Massachusetts State Police, multiple federal agencies, the Massachusetts National Guard, regional law enforcement councils, and partners from colleges and universities. Together, we are united under one mission: ensure that every fan who comes here has a safe, secure, and enjoyable experience. We fully understand the scale of what's coming. We are preparing for hundreds of thousands of visitors from around the world. That means increased demand on transportation, infrastructure, and public safety resources. But those challenges were anticipated. Through strong partnerships, detailed planning, the coordinated operations, we are ready to meet them. Over the past several months, we have not just developed plans, but we have tested them. We've conducted full-scale exercises, scenario-based drills, and stress-tested our systems from communications to field operations. We put our personnel in realistic conditions to ensure readiness across the board, and I can say with confidence, we are ready. For fans without tickets, coming to the stadium on match day is not permitted. You will not be able to access the train system, the parking lots, or the stadium campus. There will be no ticket sales on site as well. We strongly encourage you to utilize the many designated fan zones across the Boston, Providence, and surrounding communities. For fans with tickets, especially those visiting for the first time, we want your experience to be memorable for all the right reasons. Plan ahead, know your transportation route, and arrive early. From the time you arrive on the property, it may take over an hour to reach your seat due to the enhanced security measures. These layered security protocols are in place to ensure your safety. So give yourself time, be patient, and don't be late for the pre-match ceremonies. You should also expect a high visible law enforcement presence. From South Station to the parking lots to every access point around the stadium. And as you move closer, the security presence will increase. And as already mentioned, absolutely no drones, no pyro, and importantly, no declare bag policy before you arrive on scene. We also expect fans to take care of one another. Be responsible, be respectful, and look out for those you are with. For our local community, I want to be candid. This will bring some challenges. 6 out of the 7 matches fall during the mid-work week, during peak commuting hours. Even with the expanded train and bus services at a historic scale, there will still be some traffic. But again, planning ahead will mitigate those impacts. Over the next several days, you will see the stadium fully transition into an operational posture. Security perimeters will expand, access points will tighten, and the footprint will look very different from a typical event, and that's intentional. Our teams are trained, our partnerships are strong, our plans have been tested, and our resources are in place. We are prepared to deliver a safe and successful World Cup experience for our community, for our region, and for the fans from around the world. And I want to introduce Boston Police Commissioner Michael Cox.
Thank you. So the Boston Police Department is certainly accustomed to working closely with our city, state, and federal partners in planning a world-class safe event. Today's event highlights the great work and coordination that we have in general. FIFA and the associated events bring an exciting opportunity to Boston, but planning for expecting large crowds, due to the planning for that, there will be some parking restrictions and road closures in the city of Boston. Public transportation is strongly encouraged, so please plan ahead. Boston transportation teams will actively monitor conditions throughout event days and make adjustments as needed to lessen traffic impacts. The Boston Police Department will have a large contingency of officers working both in plain clothes and in uniform. You will see officers on motorcycle, bicycles, foot, and other various vehicles throughout the entire FIFA-related events. Please ask an officer for help or dial 911 if you need any emergency assistance. Fan Fest will open the Boston City Plaza from June 12th to June 27th. The area is accessible by a number of public transportation sister stations. Starting June 13th, 7 matches will be hosted here at Boston Foxborough Stadium. Thousands of those attending will be taking a train out of South Station. We expect traffic delays on those days, so please plan accordingly. As far as fan marches is concerned, we've been in touch with several of the groups regarding the marches and made accommodations for them. To all those visiting our city, whether from another state, another town, or another country, we ask you to be respectful and responsible, as I already mentioned, at all the venues and locations that you're on throughout the city. Remember, all state and local laws apply during these events. That means no public drinking, providing alcohol to minors, open containers of alcohol, and consumption of marijuana in public. These are all illegal. And of course, use of firearms. These laws will be enforced. Leave large bags, backpacks, and drones at home, as already stated. Please don't leave any bag of any size unattended, as it will be unnecessary emergency responses. It goes without saying that there's no firearms and weapons of any kind allowed or near any events, and violence and disorder and disruptive behavior will not be tolerated. Please remember, of course, if you see something, say something, because public safety relies on your partnership. If you run across any emergency, again, we ask you, while in the city of Boston, to dial 911. And up next will be State Police Colonel Nolan.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Commissioner. For the past 2 years, the men and women of the Massachusetts State Police have been training, planning, and coordinating security operations alongside our local, state, and federal partners to ensure a safe World Cup experience for all. We are prepared to welcome fans from around the world to Massachusetts, but we recognize public safety is a shared responsibility. We need everyone to do their part. Their part to help make this event successful, enjoyable, and above all, safe. The strongest security operations combine law enforcement resources with an engaged and alert public. While extensive security measures will be in place, some visible and some behind the scenes, the vigilance of attendees remains one of our most valuable safety assets. If you see something, say something. Report suspicious behavior, unattended items, or anything that appears out of place to your nearest law enforcement official immediately. Your report could make the difference. If you need emergency assistance, dial 911. Whether you experience or witness an emergency, a medical emergency, a fire, a crime in progress, or any immediate threat to public safety, help is only a phone call away. When calling 911, be prepared to provide your exact location, including the venue, section number, gate, or nearby landmark. Follow the instructions of the emergency dispatcher. If you do not speak English, interpreter services are available. Visitors using international phones should be aware that connecting to emergency services may take slightly longer than usual. The World Cup is a no-drone zone, as you've already heard. Temporary flight restrictions will be in place around Boston Stadium and all official FIFA events. Unauthorized drone operations may result in confiscation of equipment, fines, or other enforcement actions. Like you heard from FBI SACDOC, simply put, leave your drone at home. It is also important for fans to remember that fireworks are illegal in Massachusetts. Fireworks, flares, smoke devices, and other pyrotechnics are prohibited at all World Cup matches, fan events, and celebrations. But as excitement builds around this historic event, we urge everyone to not only remain vigilant against scams, but also fraud. Criminals often take advantage of these major events by selling counterfeit tickets, fake parking passes, fraudulent merchandise, and other illegitimate offers. They may also use phishing emails, text messages, or social media posts to steal personal or financial information. We encourage attendees to purchase tickets and services only through recognized official sources. Verify websites before making purchases, and be cautious of unsolicited requests for payment or personal information. Taking a few extra moments to confirm a transaction can help prevent becoming a victim of a crime. You have heard a common theme from all of us today. We need the public's help. That is especially true when it comes to fan conduct. We ask everyone attending World Cup events to celebrate responsibly, treat others with respect, bring patience to your travels and to your games, and follow the guidance of event staff and public safety personnel. Massachusetts is no stranger to hosting large-scale events. However, the scope and duration of the World Cup does make it unique. Throughout this 27-day period, surrounding matches and law enforcement agencies across the Commonwealth will remain in constant communication and coordination, ready to support one another and respond wherever needed. Whether you are a player competing on the field, a fan attending a match at Boston Stadium, or someone gathering at a watch party with friends and family, we want you to celebrate with confidence, knowing that law enforcement across Massachusetts is prepared, coordinated, and match ready. And now it is my honor to turn it over to Department of Public Health Deputy Commissioner Dr. Jess Zeidman.
Thanks, Colonel Noble. It's very hot. Hello, everybody. I'm Dr. Jessica Zeidman. I'm Deputy Commissioner and Chief Medical Officer at the Massachusetts Department of Public Health. And I want to start with what may actually be the most important advice to all those fans and visitors who are here for the World Cup, which is to drink plenty of water. I'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. Massachusetts is match ready. The Department of Public Health has been preparing for this moment for more than a year, with all of our partners here, as well as additional partners, not because we expect catastrophe, but because that preparation is what prevents catastrophe. And our job, our goal, is for people to enjoy the matches and go home healthy and safe. Here's the funny thing about public health. If we do our job well, nobody really notices. That's a good thing. That means that the water is safe, that means that the food is safe, and it means that the healthcare system is ready and any outbreaks have been caught and contained before they have a chance to become an issue. That's the work that's happening quietly every day behind the scenes in Massachusetts. So let me walk you through what we've been doing, particularly to prepare for the World Cup and what we're watching. I'll start with something visitors may not expect, but that we're experiencing today, which is our beautiful summer heat here in Massachusetts. And when many people think of Massachusetts, they think snow, they think ice skating, they think hot chocolate, fall foliage and sweater weather perhaps. But our summers can be really, really intense, and we're feeling that today. And this is especially true in the dense urban areas and in stadiums like these that are covered in concrete and pavement, where temperatures will climb well above 90 degrees, even when in our communities it may be lower. Heat-related illness can sneak up on people really, really quickly, particularly when they're outside all day, waiting in lines, celebrating, walking long distances, and not hydrating enough. Our advice is pretty straightforward. Try to limit the time that you're outside in the sun, particularly during peak hours between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., and seek out shade and cooling centers when possible. Also wear sunscreen, SPF 30 or higher, and reapply it regularly. And I cannot stress this enough, drink water. Not soda, not beer, not margaritas. They don't count for hydration. In fact, they can worsen dehydration. Massachusetts has among the safest drinking water in the country. Our tap water is fantastic. It's cold, it's free, it's available. Drink it, and then drink some more. Next, let me mention some very tiny hazards that can create a very big problem, and that is ticks. Massachusetts has gorgeous hiking trails and gorgeous coastal areas, and we want visitors to enjoy all of them, as we do. But all those areas also have ticks, and those ticks can carry disease. We want visitors to go home with fun souvenirs like snow globes and keychains, and not Lyme disease. So anyone who's spending time outdoors, particularly in wooded or in grassy areas, should use EPA-approved insect repellent. And after going outside, they should check for ticks and maybe think about taking a shower, which can also help to remove ticks. A tick that never attaches is a tick that never transmits disease. Mosquitoes are also a summertime nuisance that we're starting to see, especially around dawn and dusk when some of the games will be played. So wear lightweight long sleeves and long pants, and again, use that insect repellent. Food safety is another priority. An unsafe meal can ruin a perfectly wonderful celebration. Eat food that's been cooked thoroughly, and keep perishables cooled. We ask that people report to DPH anytime they think they may have gotten sick from food that they've consumed. Early notification to the Department of Public Health can help us contain an outbreak and prevent illness in others. And of course, wash your hands frequently. That's not new advice, it's still really good advice. Large international gatherings can also create opportunities for infectious diseases to travel. This is not meant to be alarmist, including right now. This is just epidemiology in today's highly connected world. And it's exactly why public health systems prepare for events like this. We strongly urge World Cup fans and visitors to be up to date on vaccinations, particularly for measles, before they attend any events. Measles is one of the most contagious diseases known, and we've seen resurgences both globally and nationally in recent years. Vaccination is safe and is by far the best protection. Behind the scenes, our surveillance systems will be operating around the clock, monitoring emergency room visits, hospital capacity, laboratory reporting, and syndromic surveillance for unusual patterns of illness, If something begins to emerge, we want to identify it early and respond within hours, not days. Healthcare access is another critical part of preparedness. Every visitor should know how and where to get care if they need it. We've already covered today that 911 is the best point of access to contact emergency services, but that wait times may be somewhat delayed for international callers. So to give that time and then to try again if you're unsuccessful. Better yet, if you're having difficulty, or in addition, ask somebody nearby for help. For something serious, if you're sick, and it's not necessarily life-threatening, seek help at the nearest hospital emergency department. And for less serious illnesses and injuries, such as sprains, fevers, ear infections, rashes even, urgent care centers are available across the state. Massachusetts also has helpful behavioral health resources available, including the Behavioral Health Helpline and for mental health and substance use support. People can call or text 833-733-2445 to connect. And in addition, particularly given the season of sports, we want to remind residents and visitors of our problem gambling helpline, which is available by calling or texting 1-800-327-5151. I want to close by thanking our many partners. The Department of Public Health has been working hand in hand, in addition to our partners here, with local health departments, hospital emergency teams, EMS, emergency management, community health centers, and urgent care clinics across the state. We planned together, we've prepared together, and we've drilled together. Every part of this healthcare system, from hospital trauma bays to neighborhood clinics, is connected and ready. You can find more details about staying healthy on a special website that we've created on mass.gov. You can search for Protecting Public Health During the World Cup. There are maps with locations of emergency departments and urgent care centers for people to access care easily, information about how to do so, and then downloadable information sheets for fans and visitors on a wide range of health topics to keep them healthy while they're here. The World Cup is coming to our home. We welcome fans and visitors, and we want people to cheer loudly, celebrate proudly, and go home healthy with great memories of their time in Massachusetts. And again, one last thing, drink plenty of water, lots and lots of water. I'm going to transition now to B26 Vice President and Chief of Security, Officer Ryan Windmill. Thank you.
Good afternoon. I'm Ryan Windmill, Vice President and Chief Security Officer of Boston 26, the host committee. I also co-chair the Security Task Force, and I'm the National Chair of the Security Working Group representing the 11 U.S. host cities working with the White House World Cup Task Force. I'd like to just take a moment to acknowledge and thank our media here today for their partnership. It's enduring. We couldn't do our public safety message without your partnership, and we thank you in advance throughout the tournament for your efforts to help us welcome the world safely, and in addition to our citizens, residents here to the city of Boston, as well as the Boston Stadium. As you've already heard, Boston has assembled the first of its kind World Cup Security Task Force comprised of more than 70 federal, state, and local private sector partners working together as one team. This unprecedented effort is being coordinated in close partnership with the United States Secret Service, joined here today, the Department of Homeland Security, the Federal Bureau of Investigation, and the White House World Cup Security Task Force. Our many public safety and emergency management partners across the Commonwealth and the region. There is no such thing as a routine FIFA World Cup. This is the largest sporting event to date in New England, and it requires a level of preparation and coordination and commitment that matches its global significance. Over the past several years, our teams have conducted extensive planning, intelligence and threat assessments, training exercises, risk analysis, operational design, and resource coordination to ensure that we are prepared to meet that challenge. Together, we have built what we believe is a best-in-class safety and security program designed to protect our residents, visitors, teams, athletes, officials, and fans while welcoming the world to our extraordinary city, of our Commonwealth, and to Boston Stadium. I want to express my sincere gratitude to the White House World Cup Task Force, our federal partners joined here today, members of Congress for their leadership and support in securing a grand total of $46 million in federal security funding for Boston and for the Commonwealth. These critical resources will directly support the police officers, firefighters, emergency medical personnel, emergency managers, and first responders who will stand on the front lines throughout the tournament. Their work often happens behind the scenes, but they are the foundational element of every successful major event. We're deeply grateful for their service and their commitment. As you already know, Boston was recently ranked #1 for safety out of all the World Cup host cities, including Mexico and Canada. While rankings and headlines are appreciated, they are not the measure of our success. This recognition reflects the dedication, professionalism, and collaboration of thousands of individuals across the public safety, healthcare, transportation, government, venue operations, emergency management, and the private sector who have worked tirelessly to prepare for this moment. I'm honored to stand alongside them and serve with them. Most importantly, this recognition is not a finish line. Rather, it is a reminder of the responsibility we carry and the work that remains ahead. As we move closer to kickoff, we remain focused, humble, vigilant, and committed to the continuous improvement. We understand what is at stake, and we take seriously our responsibility to safely host millions of visitors from around the world. When the tournament arrives, we will be ready to serve, ready to protect, ready to welcome the world to Boston. We are match ready. And when the final whistle blows, our measure of success will not be the ranking. It'll be that every last resident, visitor, team, athlete, volunteer, and fan experienced the safe and secure and memorable FIFA World Cup. And that partnership and investment we built today, leaving a lasting legacy for generations to come. With that, it's my pleasure to reintroduce MEMA Director Don Brantley. Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. In closing, please visit mass.gov/match ready for official sources of health and safety information and follow guidance from public safety officials across our area of responsibility. We will open it up for on-topic questions.
I'm going to have permission to ask a question. And this question that if Boston 26 or if there's anybody practicing that want to weigh in, but specifically, there was policy revised recently about water bottles being brought, reusable water bottles being allowed to the stadium. What's your expert take on this? Do you agree with that? It seems like it may be a help.
I think we're always working on multiple levels to balance public safety and public health. And I wonder if Boston 26, if you want to speak to that, or
Great question. So obviously, hydration, as you heard from the doctor, is the most important thing. We just recently learned of the policy and decision made by FIFA, who is the tournament holder. We're going to defer to them on this, but I can assure you that our security task force, as well as our public health partners, are looking into how we make sure our fans, our guests, our teams, our referees, and our support staff and first responders stay hydrated throughout the community. So we'll defer to FIFA on the official guidance if that holds and maintains, but otherwise we're going to have a lot of water and a lot of hydration here.
I was going to say, so it's going to be hydration stations throughout,
yes,
where people can actually drink water without having to go to the base for it?
And access to water, yes.
Question for Chief Grace or Colonel, when you guys arm wrestle for it. If you get a ton of fans coming down Route 1, say 3,000 to 4,000 fans with a Scottish flag, in kilts or whatever it might be, what are you going to do? Like, what's the plan? What are you going to do if they're just like in a good mood, but coming up Route 1 and maybe blocking traffic?
So, sir, I think you're talking about the Tartan Army. Absolutely. So, we do expect them to march to the stadium. They're very well organized. They're coordinating with law enforcement. And as we get closer to match day, we'll connect with them. We'll find their locations. And between the public safety, we'll designate a group and we will assist them and guide them and bring them into the stadium safely.
Could be a Haitian group too, right? I mean, all the fans have their international group.
So no matter what match, we've designated a point north and south of the stadium for staging areas, and we'll have the assets on place to mitigate that in regards to not stopping it, but actually working with it and to have them enter into the stadium through the security checkpoints.
Question on the right.
In terms of state, local, and federal partners, it sounds like there's going to be a lot of people in a lot of places, and a lot of places that need to be monitored what is the plan for overtime, for adding extra staffing if it's needed, and if you get to a situation and realize that more staffing is needed, what's the plan in place to ensure that you have enough people on staff across all of the agencies to ensure that people stay safe? And then a follow-up to that, in terms of people traveling on public transportation, will there be additional security or officers on the actual trains to ensure that everybody is safe on those trains as well?
So, like you've heard today, this operation certainly requires additional resources. And we understand that, which is why having the ability to have 2+ years to train, having the support, like you heard from Chief Windmill, from the federal government to come in and provide some extra dollars to support that, not just here, but across all the sites. This really is a very big team effort. And I can assure you and the public that here, all the agencies are prepared to have a layered security plan to ensure that adequate resources are available, as needed. So as we begin this operation, we obviously have a very strong security plan, but that plan doesn't stop at kickoff, it doesn't stop at the first whistle. That plan includes contingency plans, and we have the proper staffing. And we certainly will coordinate that together at our predetermined coordination points, but the partnership will be key. As far as there will be law enforcement presence on all transportation rails to and from the stadium.
We got one. Oh, sorry. We'll go on the far left and then work our way back.
Thank you. Day before the first match, so next Friday, will the area outside the stadium be secure? Are we able to be in the parking lot? What will that look like when it's non-match days? What should the public know? But also, as the media, if we're allowed to be in the parking lot.
So on Tuesday, where you see that perimeter fence when you were coming in, that is going to be 100% secured. Everything inside that perimeter will have been cleaned, and there will be no breaking of that security protocol 24/7. Outside of that perimeter, like the health center and Patriot Place, the public will have access to that on non-match days and match day -1.
How much of sort of control of Route 1 is there going to be? Like when there's a big Patriots game or a concert or something, there's people parking like far down, walking all the way up. Is that going to be the same here?
So the traffic management plan that is issued by the Mass DOT is going to be in place. FIFA actually applied for their own traffic management plan, and that mirrored what was in place here for all major events. So what you see on events here at Gillette on non-FIFA days is what you're going to see, and then there'll be an expansion on that, identifying any of the satellite lots. And also, Mass DOT is implementing some tow trucks in case we have a car breakdown so that they can immediately respond to mitigate any of the unnecessary traffic. But it should be the same look, maybe less, because, and hopefully less, because of one, the amount of buses that are going to be utilized, and also the trains that we are looking at historic numbers coming to the event. I think we're over 11,000 or 12,000 already for match 1.
Heard a lot of the preparation. Is there one particular thing you're most worried about? Is there one particular thing that you think will be most challenging? Is it the people arriving, people getting their tickets, or perhaps even the celebrations afterwards?
I think the important thing to remember is that this group is preparing for a wide level of different incidents and contingencies. I think it's important not to sort of focus on one thing. So through all the years of planning, and especially the months leading up to this, I think thinking about numerous different things and being prepared for everything, because you never know what's going to happen.
Dr. Zudman, could I ask you a question? Sure. We've seen a lot of reporting about Ebola. It's a very scary disease. I'm sure you've got your eye on it. This is an international crowd. Is there anything that you can do to prepare for that possibility?
Yeah, we are working with both local partners as well as other state and federal partners on this. Right now, the risk to Massachusetts and to the United States is low. There's a process whereby any traveler that's coming from a risk area is directed through specific airports where they undergo a structured screening process. anybody has identified to be at any kind of risk coming through that screening process, if they're planning to come to Massachusetts, and the same is true for all states throughout the country, the local public health authority, in our case, the Massachusetts Department of Health, is notified ahead of time so that we know that people are coming. And then we ourselves, and in collaboration with local boards of health, work to contact that person, give them guidance on self-isolation, and also make sure that we identify any emerging symptoms that might mean that they should be tested and then cared for medically in our local center of excellence. Massachusetts does have the capability to do testing for Ebola, and so we have been prepared for this previously. We've been through this before, and we are very prepared for what's to come. But at this point, the risk is low.
Last one, Bob.
I'd like to ask you about, I have to ask about traffic and commuting and how you're gonna move all these people around. We've been focusing our stories so much on the 20,000 people going to the South Station, coming out here to Foxborough Station, going back, and then I live a couple towns away, so I know what Foxborough, what Route 1 is like. I mean, it sounds like it's going to be a nightmare. 7 matches and probably a little bit beyond. How can you assure people, especially people who are not going to these games, these matches, that their lives aren't going to be severely interrupted or really not make that? Whoever wants to take that one.
Okay, what we do know is that, not just for FIFA, but for any match day, that there is traffic at these events. Without a doubt, the transportation system and the infrastructure on Route 1 has limitations. So for FIFA, we've rolled out a layered approach to try to challenge this. Obviously, the public transportation and with the MBTA, that role is substantial. We have also partnered with all the surrounding communities on property here. We used to be Walpole, Sharon, Rentham, Foxborough, and have partnered with the Mass DOT. The Mass DOT has partnered with all of the rideshare GPS companies like Apple, Waze. And what we've done is we've built a model to prevent people being told to drive on secondary roads that don't necessarily get them to the stadium. So that partnership is underway right now, and the companies have been excellent. They've been so receptive because we want to make sure that we keep the cars on the roads that are designed to handle the flow. Now, as you mentioned, we're also conflicting with the commuter hour. So of course, we look at the times of the matches and we look at the opening of the lots, and what we're doing here, and people should be realizing, is give yourself time. We are opening 4 hours before match time. If that's your time to arrive, you should be in a good place. And ultimately, if everybody is here on property an hour before match time, that means no one's on the road at 4, 5, or 6 o'clock. So the first match at 9 o'clock, not an issue. The other 6, that will be the challenge. So collectively, whether you live locally or you're trying to get home to Rhode Island, you're gonna have to manage that and kind of time it.
Thanks very much. Just one more question. I think it was answered, but what's the total number of spectators, fans that you guys are sort of anticipating? Millions? What number is that around? Who would be able to answer?
So the press conference wasn't supposed to be a math equation. Okay? So the stadium holds about 64, 65,000, so times that by 7.
Thank you.
Go get some water.
Yeah.